Alright, what is good my people, it's Daniel Effects here, welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm going to be showing you how you can exponentially improve as a trader, how you can go from being a beginner to an intermediate to an advanced trader even quicker than your regular timeline. Now surprise surprise, I'm talking about backtesting here, but not the traditional sense of just Tradingview and putting it in replay mode and placing random positions. I'm talking about a much more effective and efficient way for you to backtest and actually improve your system, improve your psychology, and just get better overall. Now, before we get into the software that I'm sure you probably already heard of, let me show you the traditional sense of backtesting and let me show you what's actually wrong with TradingView's current model. Now, TradingView, there's a couple of things with their backtesting. Now, granted, if you have like the pro version, like the one that's the max end, then you may not have a couple of these issues, but not a lot of people do have that. So the first main issue that I have with TradingView Pro is that if I were to go back to, let's say, February 2022, or let's say January 2022, and then I were to try and zoom into the 5-minute time frame, this would happen right here. Say data point unavailable, we don't have historical data for this period in time, which is super annoying, because if you're a lower time frame trader, if you're a scalper like me, you need to be testing the lower time frames and you need to have more data to work with. Like, I want to go further back left, I want to test more price action, and TradingView limits you in terms of how far you can go. So that's the first problem that I have. Now the second one is, and this is not really a huge problem, but it is just a bit of a pet peeve of mine, and that's that the candles jump. So right here, if I'm on an hourly time frame and I click forward, you see how the whole candle jumps. It doesn't have any sort of formation, but the candles just jump entire like formations in it. And the problem with that is you can't practice your entries, you can't see how the market would have faked out, you can't see how the candle would have looked at a certain period in time. And that's a major part of trading, is seeing candles continuously shift their directional bias, going from bullish to bearish to indecisive, so on and so forth. So that's another problem. And last but not least is the whole point of trading, and that's actually executing positions. So usually if you're backtesting on TradingView, you'd have a position, put it on a chart, set your stop, whatever, and you kind of just play price forward until it hit one or the other. Now recently TradingView have added in this buy and sell feature, but to be honest, I don't know why. I don't really have a reason for this, but I just really hate their buy and sell feature. Like, it really irritates me. It looks ugly. Like, it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't have lot size. It's just weird. It's just weird. I don't like it personally. You may like it, good for you, but it doesn't sit right with me. So those are a couple of the issues, a couple of the cons of TradingView. Now let me introduce you to FX Replay. Now you probably heard of this a lot, because a lot of traders are making videos about this. Will just done a video about this. There's a bunch of traders that have done this. I actually got this from one of my students, Hamid, who recommended it to me. But FX Replay, I really wish I had this when I was like learning to trade a couple years back. If someone had showed me FX Replay, I could have been profitable so much sooner if I just had access to this software. If I knew about this, if it was out a couple years back, this could have saved me so much time on TradingView, so much money lost in the live markets, so many failed challenges, because this is genuinely super good. Now let me show you what it actually is. So FX Replay, it's a backtesting website. It is a paid software. Again, I'm not sponsored here currently, but FX Replay, if you're watching this, shout your boy. But what you do is you come up here to create a session. You can see I've actually got a test session here because I just recorded about a 15-minute video and my audio wasn't recording, so I'm gonna do it again. You come up here to create session, click that, and I'll ask you to enter an account balance. Now usually I'll go for 100k just because it's a nice round number, but the idea is that if you're practicing to pass a certain account size, for example, if you're practicing to pass 100k FTMO, you would enter in that same account balance so you can get your brain used to seeing that account balance and seeing the floating drawdown and the floating profit, and kind of train your brain to see those numbers. That's the idea behind that. So you go ahead and go to pairs. Obviously your boy is only trading indices, so let's go here, the Nasdaq or Nas 100, and you have a start and a finish date. Now your start date, you'll notice that the first thing on FX Replay, is you can go much further back in time. I can go all the way to 2020, and this will still let me look at the lower time frames. It'll still let me go on the 5-minute. I can still backtest all of that period. So cool. Let's go ahead and go to, no, I don't want to go that far back, to be honest. Let's go ahead and go to like July 2022 and go to the first. So then I can pick an end date whenever I want. Let's go September 2022, the 30th. And you can also give it a strategy name. So if you're testing multiple strategies, you can track separate metrics and keep it different from your personal strategy. So go ahead and click save. and it'll pop up right here. Now clearly I typed in an extra 0 and it's a million account, which is yeah, nice. All right, cool. So go ahead and click play, and it'll load up this chart right here. Now you'll notice that this is just a regular TradingView chart. This is literally TradingView embedded into this software. Now by default, for some reason, every time you open up a session, there's volume right here, and it personally really annoys me, so I always exit out first thing. Go ahead and exit out that volume. Now let me show you a couple of cool features that FX Replay has. Now first and foremost, you'll notice this bar up here, and this is pretty self-explanatory, but it's your replay tool and it allows you to move price action. So for example, if I'm on a 1 hour time frame and I want price to move forward by an hour, I can go ahead, line it up, hour, and click forward candle by candle. Now you'll notice that this is also jumping. This is not rolling over like I previously said. And you can change that if you would like. For example, if I wanted the hourly candle to move, I could just lower my time frame here to, let's say, a 5 minute, and click play like this. Now what that will do is it will start playing 5 minute candles, but because you're on the hourly, it will just start to actually form the same way an hourly candle would be moving. Now you can see the candle's actually rolling over, it's actually moving. If I wanted to, I could speed it up or slow it down depending on what I was trying to do. But the main benefit behind this is it actually allows you to practice your entries. It actually allows you to see the candle forming in real time, how it would have in a live market. And it's a major component to actually entering a trade, because it's all well and good seeing how the candle formed and seeing the perfect wick projection and seeing exactly how it would have looked in real time. But it's another thing seeing it while the candle is moving and actually trying to time your entry and get the correct kind of general area. So that's one benefit to FX Replay. Now zooming out, let's just go back here to the hourly, still on hourly. Another main benefit is, let me just fast forward quickly to like 12. Let's go to pre-New York. Cool. So another main benefit right here is if I'm on 12 o'clock on Tuesday the 5th of July and I were to zoom out to the daily time frame, it would show me the correct daily candle. Now what I mean by the correct daily candle is it hasn't jumped. It hasn't shown me the entire candle for Thursday. It hasn't shown me where the candle ends. It's shown me the candle at 12 on Tuesday on the 5th. You see what I'm saying? In comparison to TradingView, if I were to put this in replay mode back here, this is currently what, the Monday 20th of February. It's at, just fast forward a little bit, cool, it's at 8 a.m. If I were to zoom out to the daily here, it would show me the entire daily candle, the entire formation, how it shuts, everything. And it's kind of like cheating, and what that does is it messes up your multi-time frame analysis. If you're someone who trades multiple time frames, you like to flick through them and correlate the time frames, it's very difficult to do that on TradingView because it jumps and it cheats. And what that does is you either can't look at the time frames because you don't want to cheat, or you look at the time frames and you know where price has gone, and that adds directional bias to your trading, and it's kind of like fake trading, it's like hindsight. So again, this is another benefit of FX Replay. Now building off of that, another thing you can actually do is properly place a position. For example, right here, if I were to enter a short position, granted this is not an actual trade, don't come for me in the comments, but if I were to enter a short position, let's say targeting a little 1 to 2, you can see right here, I place my regular position the same way I would on TradingView. But then what you can actually do is come up here to place order, and it'll bring up this little order sheet. This will auto fill in your information according to the position you place. You don't need to fumble around with like getting the levels and doing all like that. It'll auto fill it. Now it doesn't have lot sizing or anything, but it does have percentage risk, and this is ultimately what lot sizing is. And it defaults to 1% normally. So you can see right here, because I'm on a million account, I have a 10,000 risk, the estimated profit of 20,000, rounding up obviously. Now coming here to the bottom, by default it goes to limit order. I don't trade limits, I go market execution. So I always make sure to switch that. Go ahead and click save. You can see right here, we're actually in the position. It has the sell order here, my stop here, my TP. Now what I can do is actually play price forward and see a floating profit, a floating loss. And once price either stops me out or it hits my take profit, it will become realized profit or realized loss. So you see right here, actually updates the account balance. I'm now on 989 grand with a realized loss of 10 grand. And you can see right here, while the candles were actually moving, it would have had a floating profit or a floating loss. And why this is really useful is, number one, it keeps yourself accountability. Now, what a lot of people actually do, and I used to do this way back in the day, is if you're going ahead and like actually backtesting on Tradingview, let's say you were to like place a position, and obviously I'm not referring to these tools down here, but let's say you just were to go ahead and place a position like this, and price were to stop you up like here. What a lot of people do, and this is low-key a safety mechanism, this is our ego, it's a bunch of different confluences, but what you could do is you can kind of lie to yourself and be like, yo, I wouldn't have entered that, or I didn't really mean to place the position there, or nah, I'm not counting it, or in your head you just kind of lie to yourself. And what that does is it really skews your metric. It messes up your idea, it messes up your overall, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, you're just lying to yourself. There's no other way to put it. You're just lying to yourself, and you think you're better than you are. You're protecting yourself from losses, and you're kind of just not accepting the losses that you have taken. In comparison to FX replay, if you were to actually enter a position, you have to go through a couple of various confirmations to click execute to save the position. And once you've placed it, it updates your account balance, meaning you can't lie to yourself. You can't say I wouldn't have done that, or I would have done this, or X, Y, and Z. You've just held a loss. So you can go ahead and actually backtest months and months and months and years of price action here. And an additional benefit to all of this on FX Replay is it actually gives you a nice account metric, and you can track your percentage win rate. So you can see right here on its Daniel Effective strategy, this is just a little system I was backtesting in US 30. I can go here to the three dots and go to account analytics, and it'll bring up a nice analytic dashboard. So similar to Tradingview, similar to FTMO or My Forex Fund, they have a nice account metric. So right here, you can see over the period that I was backtesting, which was just over a month and a half, I made 11.5%. The initial account balance was 100k, but obviously I made 11.5 grand. 26 total trades. You can see right here, I actually only averaged 46%, which for me is pretty low, but I was testing out a couple of different confluences and a different entry style. But with that being said, and this is irrelevant to the video, but I just wanted to point it out anyway, you can see I still made 11.5% with a win rate below 50%, which means I was losing slightly more than I was winning, but I still made 11.5% with an average risk reward ratio of a 1 to 2, which just goes to show that you really don't need to be doing anything crazy. You don't need to be hitting 1 to 5s with an 80% win rate. Like, you can keep things very simple and just consistent. And you can see my equity curve here is a little bit dodgy at the start, but again, it's a nice way to track your overall metric. There's some further statistics down here that's super useful. So again, it shows you your average risk reward ratio, shows you the maximum risk reward ratio you've been taking, and it also shows you how big your trade. So right here, it shows you your ideal average risk reward ratio. Now what this means is how big your trades could have been. Now my biggest trade right here could have been a 1 to 14 risk reward ratio. Now to me, this is not very useful information, but if you find that you're often taking profit too early, this could definitely help you out with that statistic. Now moving on, you have the amount of trades that could have been profitable or could have been break even, but you allowed to reverse on you and hit your stop loss. Now this number should usually be 0, but I was doing some weird stuff during this little period of backtesting, so that's why it's number 2. But again, if you find that you're often having trades go into profit and then reverse on you, having this statistic right here to actually point it out could be very useful information that could actually make you profitable. Now moving further down, you have some more advanced analytics down here. So it shows you the average duration of your trades, the average profitable trade, the average profitable, not profitable loss, but the average loss, average duration of the loss, etc. Nice little information. Something that I actually found pretty useful is your performance per day. So you can see right here, and again, these are not my actual statistics. I want to just point that out. This is just a little short duration of price action that I backtested. But you can see right here that it shows you your profitability per day, and it points out to you which days are more profitable than the others. For example, right here on Monday, according to this, I'm losing more than I'm winning. So if I were to go ahead and backtest a year of price action on US 30, and every single month it had a very similar metric to this, what I would then do moving forward is, if I knew that Monday I was losing more than I was winning, I would simply stop trading Mondays. And that's how you kind of use these statistics and these figures here to slowly begin to improve your win rate, tweak your strategy, and actually move forward as a trader. And then with that knowledge, equally, Wednesday is my most profitable day. So maybe moving forward on Wednesdays, I don't know, I wouldn't increase my risk, but maybe I'll just be like a bit more excited to trade Wednesday. Now all the way down here, you have your trades by session. So it just shows you your win rate, your total trades, your max risk reward ratio. Again, all the statistics are up here, but it shows you it on a session by session basis. And obviously for this, I was only trading New York session. But if you were backtesting multiple trades, or sorry, multiple sessions, it will show you which one would be your most profitable session. So again, a bunch of super actual useful statistics that you can use to benefit you in your trading. You can use to improve your win rate and just overall get funded a lot quicker. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's nothing crazy, but if just one person has seen this software for the first time and they're like, okay, cool, I want to go ahead and test that, I really hope you do put in the work and you go ahead and test a couple months, a year of price action, because I promise you that you can really make like substantial progress with this software right here. Not Tradingview, but FX Replay. Because genuinely this could have saved me months, like I'm not kidding, could have saved me months, even a year of my life if I was just able to sit here and backtest properly, execute positions, see the candles move. It could have done so much for me in my trading. Now, this sounds like a lot, but let's say you were to go ahead and backtest a year of price action. Let's say 2 years of price action, which again, it is a lot of backtesting and it is a lot of trades taken and whatever. But in my opinion, if you really just sat there and put your head down, you can get through it in a day, 2 days, a couple of hours a day. Like me, I don't know about you guys, but me personally, I can put on some music, get a glass of coffee, whatever, and sit for like 6 or 7 hours in backtest. But especially as a newbie trader, you should really have that hunger, you should have that passion to really sit there and just go at it. And in my opinion, if you were to just do that on FX Replay and test 2 years of price action and have a clean metric, have nice analytics, see what's working, see what's not working, go in, tweak, refine, that you can genuinely make exponential progress. And it's baffling that not everyone is using this. Maybe people don't know about it, or maybe people are just doing the Tradingview thing or whatever, but I would really highly recommend, and again, I'm not sponsored, I have no benefit to say this, but I'd really recommend get FX Replay, test a couple of months of price action, get a metric, and see how you find it, and let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's it for the video. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Swaggy C course review is coming out probably on Sunday, but yeah. Old zone, fuck with them. Old zone, fuck with them.